puzzle. Burn it, then. Obliterate it from existence. Burn it whole. I leaned down to the fireplace and placed the envelope on the grate. I reached for the box of matches on the mantelpiece, removed one match, struck it once, twice. A little flame flickered. I leaned forward to put flame to paper, and then I hesitated. I don't know why. I just couldn't. Just as the past cannot be deleted, so too I knew that turning this last piece of evidence that such a past even existed into ashes would not undo the years. Those years were still there. And though I had spent many more years doing my best to bury it all beneath the new life I'd built for myself, somehow they still existed. And that single question, what could she possibly have to say to me, still burned within me? Instead of burning it, I placed the letter on the kitchen table, leaning against the salt and pepper cruet. I stared at it, looked away, stared at it again. It sat there for days, and for days I tried to ignore it, in vain. It seemed to have some kind of magical power. Memory after memory began to rise up in my mind, uninvited, forcing their way to the fore, evoked by the sight of that envelope, that so familiar handwriting. Events I had tried so hard to forget. Pains that I had thought healed. Wounds that had grown healthy scabs. There it was again, a mass of unresolved, unnerving chaos. All the turmoil, all the anguish, all the fear and the agony and the unmitigated fury, all released at the sight of an envelope sitting in the middle of my table staring at me as I ate my breakfast in the morning and my dinner in the evening. It was dangerous. More so than a grenade, an unexploded bomb. I had to defuse it somehow, make it safe. But how? An envelope is in itself innocent, free of blame. It simply sat there waiting, the most powerful thing in my kitchen. Eventually I picked it up. It felt hot, dangerous. Yes. I had to destroy it. I took it into the living room and once again laid it in the hearth, this time determined to do the necessary. But my hands trembled as I tried to put a match to a corner of the envelope, and I dropped it, and instead collapsed right there, dissolved in tears, weeping and wailing because it all came back to me, and I knew there was no way out but to face it. I removed the envelope from the grate, slit the envelope's flap carefully open with a knife. A photograph immediately fell out. I picked it up and could not suppress the sob that rose in my throat. The photo was of 4 youths, 2 girls, 2 boys. The girls were about 13, the boys about 3 years older. The girls were me and Magda. The boys were our brothers, Markus and Aaron. Our arms linked round each other's shoulders, bookended by the boys. Magda and me, with our heads slightly touching, and all grinning cheek to cheek as if we'd just won the lottery and had booked our tickets to America. America, the richest country in the world, flowing with milk and honey, unlike our home country Germany, still recovering from the Great War. America was the big dream back then, for all 4 of us, the big adventure. We'd seen the Hollywood movies. Markus and Aaron dreamed of owning one of those fashionable Model T Fords and driving across the country, and we girls, just as we were becoming women, well, we'd wear sun hats and fancy shoes, and we'd go to all the latest movies and fall in love with the stars and do the Charleston and the shimmy, and it would all be one big long holiday, and it would all happen in a few years' time once we'd grown up, and we'd stick together. I already had a crush on Markus.